Hello everyone, this is Foxhound, coming back again with another now tier list that I have developed for the carriers. I thought that it may be a good idea for you guys, for the ones that are interested in playing carriers, to know just a tier list of which carriers you should consider investing or investing. Just in case this is just my personal opinion, I have some experience regarding ACB plays. So let me just show you my medals very quickly. Let's see. So if we go to basic command, I have level 5 on aviation, yeah, and well, that's on missiles as well. So that gives me to some extent, some idea of carriers, let's put it this way. I have been playing this for a very long time. All my videos on YouTube are almost carriers. But before we get in with this tier list, this is just my opinion, and I am more than happy to update the list in the future. And you can always comment down in the section down below. Okay, so of course I'm not going to review all of them, but I did develop like a total of 4 tiers, which I will present as an image at the end of the video with comment, of course. But I'm going to explain at least the top 5, let's put it this way, and I'm going to tell you my rationale about it. First of all, regarding all the carriers right now in the meta game, you have a lot of submarines, and they are using the SLBMs and the torpedoes. So that's something that really influenced my list. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. D tier, if I remember correctly, well, I put the RF-Ulyanovsk. Don't get me wrong, this is a fantastic carrier. I think I should put it higher, actually, just a little bit higher. It's a very good carrier. It has the auto cannons that you need. It has 1 drone, 1 strike fighter, and most of its armament is based on the missiles and the grenade launchers. Why, for the time being, I put it in this tier? Actually, the air defense is actually good. I think similar to CN Type 004. Why so low, will you say? And even as I speak, I'm considering maybe I was too raw for this thing, because it's actually free. But the only reason is that fighters. For me, for a carrier to have a high level tier list, let's put it this way, it needs to have a fighter, because you need to be able to open the map. And this one does not have a fighter, and it only has 1 drone and 1 strike fighter. So that is why I am mainly giving it into the D tier. Should I consider increasing it further? Potentially. But let's go a little bit into the C tier. Hopefully I remember all this by heart, but I did put the Trieste. I did put a couple of carriers that I don't even have, let's put it this way. So if I go to the fleet over here, right, the shop, and I put over here, you are going to see that I didn't even get these carriers. So for example, here we have the America. This is a little bit up on, these 2 are on the tier ahead. For now I put America. Yeah, America is on this tier alongside a couple of other ones. Let's go to my own fleet. So Trieste is in this rank. And why do I put them in this tier? Okay, so there is a particular reason. First of all, the same situation as before. You don't have fighters in this. They can be very good, but you have to put a lot of strategy in them. and you really need to have like top tier armaments into them. The Trieste, I love the Trieste. Don't get me wrong, but something that these carriers miss as well is autocannons, a high number of autocannons. So both the America and the Trieste do not have this type of autocannons, and that actually reduces it a little bit. They also don't have fighters. In both cases, you have either one or two drones. Although the Trieste has a lot of armament into it, the America has, let me see, it has two drones, yes, and the autocannons are there, but you only have three. So that's why one of the main reasons. And also it's because both of these ships cost gold. That's it. Most of these ships cost gold, or you need to pay for them. And I will expect for a carrier which you are expending gold or that is exclusive to give you just a little bit more oof into it. Especially when you have other carriers like in the tier above that I consider that give you more value. So for that particular reason they are over here. Let's go into the B tier. Okay, so let's go back again into this part over here. Okay, B tier. So what do I have in the B tier? Let me put this up here. In the B tier I have again most of the carriers that I do not have at the moment because I consider they are not so good, let's put it this way. I have Sichuan, I have Izumo, yeah, these two. Why do I have these two? They have very impressive armament. They have the helicopters, sometimes they have even grenade launchers, especially Sichuan has 4 grenade launchers, Izumo has even the torpedoes as well, and you also have grenade launchers as well. And both of them have a lot of helicopters and you can make plays with them. As you can see, the same situation. Autocannons, let's put it, the air defense of the Izumo is considerable. Autocannons are slightly higher, you have a total of 4. And regarding this one, the Sichuan, which also you have grenade launchers, what's the problem over here? We have 2 autocannons, which I believe are locked. And for these particular reasons, they don't have a fighter. Again, this is more like a niche type of gameplay when you want to get close, you want to be with your allies, and you want to be in front, let's put it this way, and fight with your allies. The only issue that we have with that when you are playing on ranked is that you won't be able to open the map as efficiently, and when you don't open the map as efficiently, your allies start to die because they cannot see the map, and if they cannot see the map, then they are going to start going down very easily. I'm not saying it's not possible. You can, if you are very skilled and you have the right equipment, you can make it work, absolutely. But for someone that is like a medium player, a low player that cannot keep the map open just with one plane, you may cause a lot of struggles to your team, and that's why I'm putting them into this category. Okay, so let's start with the A tier. So what I'm putting into the A tier, okay, and I had a lot of problems over here, if I'm completely honest. First of all, let's go to the ship shop again. Yeah, and in this category I have the CNS evolved, mainly. I think in this category, I don't remember, I think I did put the Sumo. The Sumo is between a B and an A. But this evolved, absolutely, it's over here. Yeah. Because it has 3 drones and you don't have a fighter, but you have 3 drones, and if you're extremely skilled, this is more like a kind of like a Charles de Gaulle, and even a little bit more, because you can launch all of these and you can do a lot of damage. But remember, this is a market item, and because of that, even though I'm not considering putting it into the A, even B, just because of the sake that it's a market item. If I look into the other ones over here, I really struggled. I really struggled with my decision on this one. And let me explain why. Okay, let's go for the easy one first. The easy one is going to be Rocks. Where is Rocks? Let's put it this way. Rock CB. This one over here. Why do I choose Rocks? Well, because it's cheap. That is the main reason. Now, before you could get it with I believe with dollars, and even if you have to pay gold, again, it is good value because you have the 3 missiles, you have 1 strike fighter, again you have the 2 drones, but you have again 4 helicopters, again standard autocannons and air defenses. But because of that, yes, I put it into this tier. And the controversy over here, I was having a very hard time putting on the A tier the Gerald Ford or the Fujian. I was having a very hard time. Let me explain. With the Gerald Ford, if you have the right equipment into it, right? For example, you have a good missile that can take submarines. If you have very good drones, you have an exceptional strike fighter, and technically all carriers can do this, but the most important bit is this. The defenses on this carrier are insane. You have a total of 10 air defenses, which is even higher than CN Type 004. You have 10 air defenses, and you have a total of 7 autocannons, which makes you pretty much untouchable by submarines if you have the right autocannon. Which is this autocannon? The AFGS. Yeah, so with that, you pretty much cannot be touched by submarines, or even by Palek if you want to do some damage to submarines. Why I was struggling between putting this into an A or an S tier? Well, the Gerald Ford cost dollars. That's the key point. The Gerald Ford cost dollars. The Fujian is kind of like a Gerald Ford. It has slightly less autocannons, and that's a very slightly. It has slightly less air defenses, but it's equal to CN Type 004. It's an amazing carrying, and both of them have the 2 drones, fighter, and strike fighter. This one has a grenade launcher as well. What makes me difficult to say which one is better between the 2 of them is the cost. Fujian costs gold, whereas Gerald Ford costs dollars. So you don't need to spend gold into this. So you can technically start using the Gerald Ford, and if you really think that you need the speed, then you can consider getting pretty much the Fujian. So that is why it's something that you need to take into account. Alright? So again, in the S tier, these 2 are between the A and the S tier, the Gerald Ford and the Fujian, in my opinion. Yeah, these are pretty much almost like they have the defenses of a assault carrier almost. The only thing that you don't have is a bomber. Of course, Fujian is faster. You can hide easier, whereas Gerald Ford, you can pretty much reduce the amount of attacks from anti-ballistic missiles if you have busted air defenses. Yeah, and right now HPLS 100 and Alka are the best. not counting the hero one, which we cannot get. Okay, so then Foxhound, what is into the S tier? Well, aside from these two, if I mean whatever you choose, the one in the S tier is Charles de Gaulle, and even now I will think that I will prefer to maybe use the Fujian more. It's hard for me to say. Okay, let's put it this way. Gerald Ford and Fujian cost gold and dollars. Those are free things that you can get into the game. Yeah, and that's why I put them so high. Gerald Ford is very good. Sorry, Charles de Gaulle is very good as well. Of course, he has the busted two fighters, but what is the slightly problem that I have with Charles de Gaulle? It's very simple. Issue number one for most players. This costs money, and sometimes a lot of money, like 30, 40, 60, 100, because it comes in a gacha. Well, right now, because we have small gachas, you may get it for less, but still it costs a good amount of money. That's the first issue that I have. Second issue that I am finding recently, I mean, maybe I'm being too picky. You have a good amount of air defenses, but two of these are locked, meaning you cannot change them. You have a slot of 3 to put the laser guided missiles, but that means that you rely on the speed of the carrier to reduce the damage from anti-ballistic missiles. And you don't have an autocannon, which is huge because nowadays, again, well, any carrier in the past, of course, you have a submarine, comes underneath you, and you are busted. But nowadays, if you manage to get the autocannon that I mentioned previously, yep, let's go back to the autocannon on the Gerald Ford. If you manage to get AFGS of even packet, which was free, the Palek, sorry, this one. Now, when you play a match, if there is a submarine, now you don't have to worry about a submarine. That is what now makes these two kind of at the same level of Charles de Gaulle. So that is the small issue that I have with it. And also the third issue as well. It does not have a fighter. Again, if you are skilled, you can keep the map open with two strike fighters. You can, and you can do a lot of damage. This is more like an offensive carrier. But how you open the map is going to be less consistent, and when you open the map and you are less consistent, your allies die sooner, and if your allies die sooner, yes, you are going to find yourself that you are going to be most of the time the only you or you and one teammate alive, and the rest died because the map was not open most of the time. Don't get me wrong, if you are a skilled player, you can keep the map open, and yeah, this is busted. That's why I'm still putting it into the S tier. But very, very close to the Fujian and Gerald Ford. Okay? And finally, what is the ultra busted ship in the game? Of course, the Nemesis. But the issue that I have with this ship, obviously, I mean, it is a monster of a ship. Yeah, it has everything. It has strike fighters. Two strike fighters, one fighter. You have helicopters, 4 autocannons. This like 8 autocannons. This is a monster of a ship. Still, you see, you have the same amount of air defenses as the Fujian and even less than the Gerald Ford. What's the issue? You need to be a legendary player to get it. So, pretty much, most people will not be able to use this unless you dedicate a good amount of resources and money and be patient in order to get into tournaments and be able to use this carrier. If you have it, you are busted. But again, if you are starting the game, and you want to start playing carrier right out of the get-go, you cannot get this, so you have to get something similar. So I think what I'm going to do also is I'm going to post an image of the tier list, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Okay, everyone, so this is the final list that I'm putting up here. This is my tier list. Of course, as you can see up there, I have the Charles de Gaulle. Again, issue with it is how to get it. You have to put resources. Fujian, same issue. It's a fantastic carrier, but again, if you have gold, might as well you may want to invest into an assault carrier, not a carrier. So that's why it's like meh, but it's kind of at the same level, if not. I mean, you can really debate between the Fujian and Gerald Ford. But I see that Gerald Ford it's cheap. If you have the right armament, you can do a lot of things with it. A lot of things with it. A tier again, DS Evolved because you can launch a lot of drones. Rock CBS, very balanced. Izumo, again, good defenses. You have a lot of helicopters. You can do a lot of damage with it. B tier, the CN Type 076. Triense and America, again, problem with the autocannons. That's why they are there. They don't have fighters. Above, they also don't have fighters, but here you have a little bit of less power. And below in the C tier, I have the Arlai Belnosk. And even the CN Chao, I'm putting it over there. I didn't even mention it. Why it's there? Because it's not a freaking carrier. It's not a freaking carrier, and it's even worse because if you use it with an ally that has a carrier, yes, very good. But if you use this ship solo on matches, you are going to put your team on a disadvantage because you are going to have in the enemy team a proper carrier, not a hybrid of a carrier and another ship. So that's why I'm putting it over there. But this is my opinion. I hope that you guys enjoy this tier list. But let me know in the comments what you think. Use this space to agree, disagree, debate, and you can give your points of view on why you think one chip should be better than other regarding carriers. And please like, comment, and subscribe and share. I think this is a very good list, but again, I'm more than happy to update it on a regular basis. For now, this is it for me. Thank you for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next one. Foxhound signing off.